allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
Please stand, if you can, for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
Item, please.
Invocation.
We'll have our invocation today by Commissioner Anderson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good morning, everyone. Join me in prayer, if you would. Father in heaven, we ask for your wisdom as we begin this meeting. We acknowledge that we need your wisdom and insights, and we welcome your presence among us. Guide us in our discussions and decisions, helping us to seek what is best for the residents of Wayne County. We trust in your perfect wisdom and ask that you direct our meeting according to your will. We pray for those who serve in our military to keep us safe and free in this tumultuous world, as well as our first responders. For your blessings, we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Commissioner. Appreciate that prayer this morning. Madam Clerk, next item, please.
Reading, correcting, and approval of the journal.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydun.
Move for approval.
Is there support? Supported by Commissioner Anderson. Any discussion or corrections to the journal? Hearing none, please vote.
Motion carries.
Thank you so much. Next item, please.
Report from the chair.
Just want to let everyone know that Commissioner Marecki is serving on jury duty today, which is why she's not here. She was called for jury duty. And we're going to keep Commissioner Melissa Dobb in our prayers. She had a bad car accident and she had to have surgery on her finger. So she had surgery yesterday and she's still recovering with some broken bones. So we're going to keep her in our prayers as well. Next item.
Unfinished business. There is none listed. We are moving to page 2 of the agenda, offering of all petitions, ordinances, resolutions, and presentations. There is one resolution listed, a resolution by Commissioner Dobb proclaiming August 31st, 2024 as International Overdose Awareness Day and September 2024 as National Recovery Month, and calling upon our community to observe these occasions, support harm reduction initiatives, and advocate for community access and distribution.
Thank you so much. This is a resolution that you have before you. It was passed out because there were some corrections to be made. Again, this is Overdose Awareness Day, and September, as many of you know, is also National Recovery Month. I serve on the board for the Detroit Recovery Project, as well as the National Council on Drug and Alcohol Dependence, along with Commissioner Scott. So we are very much aware of how important the acknowledgement is of making sure that people who are in recovery stay in recovery, and just making awareness of how the harm that overdosing is. And we're doing great things in Wayne County as it pertains to helping persons who are in an overdose state with the Narcan machines that are being distributed throughout the county. So we want to make sure that we remember those today as Overdose Awareness Day, and September again being National Recovery Month. I will move this in Melissa Dobbs' absence. Is there a second? Okay. Moved and supported. Any discussion? Commissioner Baker McCormick.
Can you open it up for?
Certainly. Yes, I will. Thank you. Okay, moved and supported. All in favor? Okay, never mind. Please vote.
Motion carries.
All right, let me know when the board is open for co-sponsors.
board is now open for co-sponsors.
Okay, if you'd like to co-sponsor, please vote at this time.
Sponsors duly noted.
Thank you. Next item?
We are moving to reports from committees. Report A is from the Committee on Seniors and Veterans Affairs. There are 2 items listed.
Thank you. And for those who are on the phone or on Zoom or in the audience, we operate in committee, and that's when all of the vetting of the different contracts are before the commissioners. They vet them, go through them thoroughly with discussion, and then they come here for full board for final disposition. So first item, Committee on Seniors and Veterans Affairs, Commissioner Kenizik.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move we receive and file item number 1 and approve item number 2, please.
Been moved by Commissioner Kenizik, supported by Commissioner Garza. Any discussion on the items under the Seniors and Veterans Affairs Committee report? Any discussion? Commissioner Kenizik.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It's not necessarily related to the 2 items, but it has to do with Seniors and Veterans Affairs, if you'll give me a little latitude. I had a good conversation yesterday with Dr. Jackson, who oversees the department for us, and just wanted to give a kudos and some recognition to him. 1, for coming to committee and helping us walk through these 2 items. But 2, he's not here today because he is running a route right now delivering meals in the city of Westland, which he's been doing for the last couple of months here. So just a great example of a guy who is willing to do the work, roll up his sleeves, and help our seniors and our veterans, a great partner to us on the committee. And so just wanted to give a shout out to Dr. Jackson here. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I do believe the department takes volunteers for that work as well. So we always want to note that if you would like to volunteer for doing Meals on Wheels and doing the meal delivery for our seniors, we are taking volunteers all the time. So thank you. Any additional discussion on the report? Hearing none, please vote.
Motion carries.
Thank you so much. Next item, please.
We are on Report B from the Committee on Government Operations. There are 6 items listed on pages 2 through 4 of the agenda.
Commissioner Clemente.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to move all 6 items on the government operations report.
Moved by Commissioner Clemente, supported by Commissioner Colleen. Any discussion on the government operations report? Any discussion on the 6 items on government operations? Commissioner Anderson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd just would request to be recorded as a no vote on number 2.
Duly noted. Commissioner Monique Baker McCormick.
Item number 3 is retroactive. Is there a reason why?
Item number 3, that is free park, well, I guess we're doing free parking if I'm not mistaken, at the Hollywood Casino for the employees at 400 Monroe. It's retroactive as stated in our documents.
Good morning, Sue Humo, Deputy Corporation Counsel through the chair. I don't believe anyone from the Register of Deeds is on Zoom, but I'll answer the question. I think the explanation that was provided at GovOps is while they were negotiating the agreement, other offices, like the clerk's office who had moved to 400 Monroe, needed space. And so the agreement, they had to negotiate additional spaces.
If I may, please. It also had to do with the threshold of the contract, and reported in committee was stated that they had a little bit of discrepancy on numbers. They weren't sure when they needed to bring things in front of the committee for the threshold. So that what has happened. So it has increased a little bit, the amount of money, and it also the amount of spaces because of the different people that are at 400 Monroe and how many spaces were needed. So that is why it is retroactive. And it's all being taken care of through the Register of Deeds budget.
Thank you, Commissioner Clemente.
Thank you. And also item number 7.
Number 6,
Am I looking?
GovOps.
Over, yep. I'm good. Thank you.
Any additional questions on the government operations report? None, please vote.
Motion carries and Commissioner Anderson as a no on item number 2.
And I am very thankful for the Register of Deeds for providing the cost for his employees to park at the parking structure there. That's a expense that the employees are so very grateful that they don't have to provide anymore. So we thank them for that. Next item.
Report C from the Committee on Public Services. There are 9 items listed on pages 4 through 6 of the agenda.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydun.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I will make a motion to move items 1 through 9, with item 1 being receive and file.
Moved by Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydun, supported by Commissioner Kinlock. Discussion, Commissioner Garza?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd just like to request to be the maker of the motion of items 2, 5, and 9.
Duly noted.
Baker McCormick?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Item 7, it's retroactive. Is there a reason?
Good morning, Gregory Hurst, Director of Facilities Management and Planning. Through the chair, to answer your question, Commissioner Baker McCormick, this is for Do All. It is a janitorial services contract. There was an RFP out that has closed, and we are completing the contract for the services moving forward. This retro was to pay for the services that were ongoing through that. Once this contract closed, we still had the need to move forward with cleaning services. This is to cover the cost for those services and also to take us through the end of this calendar year as we are getting ready to onboard and complete the contract for the services moving forward.
So then we didn't get any other bids.
No, so this is it's a continuation of the previous contract to get us through the RFP process. So as of right now, we closed the RFP, and now we're working on the contract for the new vendor, and that has not closed. So this takes us through the end of the year, so we can close that, but we wanted to continue services. There was a need for that. Absolutely.
All set, Commissioner? Okay, all right. For number 8, I think Janelle Allen is here. We have a new Director of Public Services before us for consideration. Good morning, Janelle.
Good morning, Janelle Allen, Chief Operating Officer with Wayne County Executive's Office, and it is a tremendous pleasure to introduce to you our candidate to serve as our next Director of the Department of Public Services. He comes with just a wealth of experience directly related to this role, and he currently serves as the Deputy Director of Public Works at the City of Detroit, where he oversees over 470 employees and all facets of running the Public Works Department for the City of Detroit. He's been there since 2018, and prior to that, he spent most of his career with MDOT, serving in various roles, starting as an engineer. He also brings to us, he is a licensed professional engineer, which we think will add tremendous value to our oversight and our executive team. He also holds a master's degree and a bachelor's degree in civil engineering from the University of Ibadan in Nigeria and an associate certificate in project management from George Washington University. So we feel very fortunate to have him and excited about him joining our team.
Good. Good morning. Please introduce yourself after that great introduction, but you can have the floor to speak at this time.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Madam Chair.
Good morning.
And the rest of the commission. My name is Dayo Akinyemi. It's a pleasure to be here. It's an opportunity that I'm not going to take very lightly. I'm going to take that very seriously. So thank you very much for the warm welcome, and I'm looking forward to the approval of this commission and to getting to work for the people of the great county of Wayne. Thank you.
Would like to make one clarification of the start date. It will be September 4th instead of September 3rd, which was represented at the COPS meeting.
Yes.
So we'd ask if we could make that
And-
change.
And we do have a corrected a collected resolution on everyone's desk with that change. So when we make the motion, it's going to be as amended, so we can amend what's in the paperwork here that in front of us.
Thank you.
Excuse me, discussion? Commissioner Anderson, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and welcome. I just wanted to ask, as soon as you get business cards printed, if you'll make sure every commissioner gets one. I know I have a few things that are on the list that have been on the to-do list for quite a while in the department. Wanted to make sure you're aware of them. Look forward to working with you.
Thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to sharing my card and my cell phone, and I know how that works, and I'm looking forward to working with you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Commissioner Vice Chair Baydun.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to again welcome Mr. Akinyemi. I look forward to working with you. Your Lucky Miller Bridge was done under your previous, the predecessor, so you don't hear a lot about the Miller Bridge from me.
Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to working with you, sir.
Welcome. We look forward to working with you as well. Commissioner Clark Coleman.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I would certainly like to welcome you aboard. Look forward to working with you. Got a few things to discuss with you, but your background is impressive. And I'm very happy that you have joined Wayne County.
Thank you very much, ma'am. It's a privilege. Thank you.
Commissioner Kinlock.
It would like to definitely welcome you on board. He has a reputation of being open, having an open door policy, and a strong collaborator. And so I'm excited that you're joining the county as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. I appreciate it. Thank you.
As you know, we were formerly known as the Road Commission, so many of the issues that commissioners have are pertaining to our roads and bridges. So you will get a laundry list of challenges that we see, and we look forward to your leadership. We want to thank, though, however, Mr. Andy Candrivas, I'm sorry, for his leadership in the position prior to your coming on. So we'll thank Andy for what he's done in the department, and we look forward to your leadership in the department as well. And I would like to, go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to working with you.
And I'd like to ask Janelle a question, if you could, please. With some of the changes that are occurring with leadership, if you could, not today, but in the near future, provide us with an updated org chart, just of who's on first type of listing of all of the new changes. I believe Andy went over to the CEO's office, and just a new org chart would be helpful, that so that we can know the department heads and all the people report, not all the people, but the direct reports. That'd be helpful for us.
Yes, we will certainly do so. And just wanted to state that Andy wanted to be here this morning. He just returned from out of the country and he is sick.
Oh, no.
So he did send his apology for not being here.
Well, we will send him a speedy recovery. All right. Thank you. Any additional discussion on the public services report? And we do have the Chair of Public Services who has come. Terry Marecki has joined us from jury duty. Welcome, Commissioner. We have a motion and support. Any additional discussion? All righty then. So we're going to go back to how we used to operate. We won't let that stop us. While they're figuring that out, you can record a voice vote, Madam Clerk.
Oh, they can vote. The tablets are open. for
Okay.
voting. And number 8 is as amended, as mentioned by the chair.
Public service report, number 8 as amended. Hearing no further discussion, please vote.
Motion carries, and I have Commissioner Garza as the maker of the motion on items 2, 5, and 9.
Thank you.
We're moving to report D from the Committee on Health and Human Services. There is one item listed.
Commissioner Scott.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Welcome.
I'd like move approval for item number 1. As we all know that this measles is something new that's not new, but something that is very active now. And so this is for vaccinations, and they're saying that everyone should be vaccinated.
Okay, is there someone here from the health department? I don't see anyone here. Just as it pertains to the distribution of the measles vaccination, how are we going to get that out?
Hello, Sammy Shalabi, Deputy Division Director of Clinical Care Services. So this amendment was for a vaccination media campaign surrounding the measles virus, so that, we can make sure that people are getting vaccinated and getting supportive messages around that.
We will not be doing any of those vaccinations at our health department?
We do have that. We do have the vaccine at our health department, but this is supportive and productive messaging to the broader Wayne County, just to get, there's been a slight decline in vaccinations over the past year, and we're working on targeting that to get a positive message forward.
Hey, Dr. Abdul Al-Sayed, Director Health Officer. Sammy's entirely right. The issue with measles vaccines isn't that people don't have them. The issue with measles vaccines is that they're there and people don't take them. And so a lot of what we're trying to do to stave off what we feel may be an outbreak is to get the message out there to remind people that measles is still around us. And as you all probably well know, the challenge with vaccines is that they've been a bit of a victim of their own success. I talked to my grandparents about their experience lining up for a polio vaccine, and how excited their parents were to get them vaccinated because they saw what polio did to their neighbors' kids. And I think what's happened over time is these have been so successful that people don't actually see the diseases that we're trying to prevent. Measles is deadly. As a father of both a 1-year-old and a 6-year-old, I remember the day my kid turned 1 so that I could go and get her vaccinated with measles, knowing what's coming. And so we just want to make sure that our residents understand that measles is out there, that the numbers are rising, that we're actually dealing with active outbreak right now. And so this is really about trying to get that word out.
And as a media campaign, what is the strategy? Is it billboards, radio, television? What are we going to be doing?
I think it's a little bit of all the above. We're working with a contractor that's going to build that for us, but taking it to the people in the best way we know how, surrounding that campaign.
All right, thank you. I have a list of people to speak. Commissioner Anderson?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just wanted to ask Dr. Who's expected to appear in these? Is it going to be maybe staff or yourself or?
So we don't expect to build around any particular spokesperson. What we do want to do is just get the message out. And there are a lot of different ways to do this in different media. So they're not going to be built around any one spokesperson.
That's refreshing. Thank you.
Dr. Coleman?
Sure. Thank you, Madam Chair. I think I'm very happy to see this happen because it became a political football with COVID and a bunch of other stuff, and there's been an effort to convince people that they shouldn't take vaccinations. When we were young, when it was just it was a given. You don't go to school without your vaccinations, and nobody questioned it. But all of a sudden, it became a political football, and then now they have a concerted effort to convince people not to get vaccinations. So now what you've got to do is to unlearn or help them to see that this is something that they need to do for the protection of their children. And it's heartbreaking when people use public health issues like that for political gains. So kudos on it, and I wish you a lot of luck and a lot of success. and with your media campaign, because it's necessary. It has to happen. These children, the lives of these children are at stake.
Thank you, Commissioner. You're absolutely correct. And with the measles, will we continue to do COVID education as well? Because unfortunately, in the last month, I've known several people
Me
to have
too.
COVID. So
Me
COVID
too.
is back. I don't know if it went away, but we're going to do an educational media for COVID as well for the fall and
Yeah,
the flu.
that is the intention. Obviously, we're not presenting any movement on COVID in large part because it continues to be funded. And so that's good news. The worry is at some point that funding will likely run out. And as I think everybody now understands, COVID's kind of here with us. It's very similar to the flu. It's going to be a seasonal illness that we just have to deal with. And apparently sometimes it can also be unseasonal, meaning like you're going to get waves in the summer, which is not something anybody had on their bingo card. But we continue to provide that education, continue to reach out on vaccines. And then the other ask I would have, just while I'm here, is that I know that each of you commands weight and sway in your own communities. And I would ask that you push the message about getting a COVID vaccine, a flu vaccine, and a measles vaccine for kids who haven't been vaccinated. And if you'd like, our office can offer you content for newsletters. But we really need to all hands on deck to get this message out. And to your point, Commissioner Clark-Coleman, these have been demonized in a way that is kind of curious, considering the fact that for a long time, the idea that somebody got measles in the United States was a non-starter. And we're seeing more and more outbreaks in schools and classrooms across the country. And it's in large part because people are choosing not to vaccinate their kids. And what they're trying to do, unfortunately, is free ride off of other people's vaccines, right? The idea that, well, if everybody's vaccinated around me, then my kid can not get vaccinated and they'll be fine. And the problem is that the thing that they don't often adjust for is both that, as we know now, viruses go viral, but ideas go viral too. And when you push the idea that I'm not going to vaccinate my kid, as folks have, what tends to happen is the kids around your kid are no longer vaccinated. So one kid gets it, and now all of a sudden you start getting outbreaks in ways that we hadn't in the past. And so getting the word out there, reminding people that this is something that is dangerous, that measles still can kill people. It is still out there. And this ideology that says that we can demonize public health with no threat to the public's health, unfortunately, is claiming lives, and we need to stand up against it.
One follow-up. I understand that the COVID booster, the next one will be available soon, or is it available now, or what?
It is not yet available. It should be available for the fall. The current booster that is available does have reactivity against the variants that are spreading. So if folks have not gotten their booster, they should. The other piece is that there's a recommendation that folks over the age of 65 or with certain pre-existing conditions that render them more vulnerable to the consequences of COVID should consider getting a second booster. And I would actually do that now. And usually the reactivity lasts for about 3 months. So if you think about you get a vaccine now, mid-August, right, that reactivity is going to last through probably about mid-November. And so that's when the new one will be out, and we recommend folks get vaccinated again there.
So are you saying that even though we might have already had a booster, the last one, that you should have it again? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So what we understand, so there's a couple of things about COVID that make it particularly hard to vaccinate against. COVID is what's called an RNA virus, and RNA viruses, their genetic material renders them more likely to mutate. And because they mutate very quickly, they mutate specifically to avoid our internal defenses, right? What a vaccine does is it reminds your body what to look for if you're exposed to COVID. But because both our body forgets and because this virus changes masks, right? You have a situation where your vaccine will protect you pretty clearly for 3 months. And usually that reactivity, it doesn't automatically fall away at 3 months. It just starts to wane over time. And so if you're somebody who's particularly vulnerable, you can get another booster to remind your body what to look out for. And usually we wouldn't recommend it, but we've had this really aggressive summer wave that frankly nobody saw coming, driven by a set of mutations in COVID that made it really, really good at evading our natural immune system. So for folks who are particularly vulnerable, there is a recommendation that if you're over the age of 65, consider getting another booster. And then when the new booster comes out in the fall, consider get boosted again. Yeah.
Thank you. Commissioner Baker McCormick?
Madam Chair, can you send us a flyer communication so that we can put it in our
Sure.
newsletters? That would be great. Thank you. And if it can be an electronic.
Yep.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So on a personal note, my husband is immunocompromised and got his MMR just recently because he was wiped out completely and he had to redo all of his shots. So my question is twofold. One, when should a young person, because I don't remember, my kids are older, get their measles? And then second, does it last a lifetime for us that have already had it?
Yeah, so the first shot happens after the age of 1. So that pediatric visit at 1. The next shot happens before kindergarten. And it is 91% effective after that. Now, part of that, and I don't want to go too deep into the epidemiology here, but if everybody around you is vaccinated, the probability that you're ever exposed to the virus is 0, right? Because everybody's vaccinated. The problem, though, is once you start getting very aggressive outbreaks, 91% is not 100%, right? But the recommendation is that after you've had your childhood series, that you don't need a vaccine after that. And that's the recommendation out there for everybody. But I don't want to be in a scenario, right, where we are testing our individual level immunity because we're constantly exposing ourselves because too few people have gotten vaccinated. See what I mean? And that's the thing that I think the important thing that folks have to understand about communicable diseases is that they're communicable. They require contact with other people. And under different conditions, you are stressing people's immunity. And so it is a collective thing. If all of us decide to get vaccinated, then we're all more protected. And if all of us decide not to, then the few of us who do protect ourselves are just less protected because we're exposing ourselves more often. 91% means 9 times out of 10 you're protected. But if you're exposed 10 times, statistically, you're going to get it once, right? And so it's important for folks to understand that feature. And I think what happens is because of that, folks will look back and say, well, it's not 100% effective. It's like, well, nothing's 100% effective, right? But it's very effective. 90% is pretty good, right? I'm taking those odds. So all of that is to say, getting out there is part of the immunization, getting out there and reminding people that you have to actually do this thing. And we all have to do this thing for it to be effective for all of us is part of the work. And so why it's so important for us to communicate about this and to make sure to get the word out.
Really appreciate all your knowledge and telling us, how to get this out. So anything that you can provide to us would be very important. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Commissioner Marecki.
Madam Chair, so the ones of us that are old enough to say they got measles when they were kids, we're all good?
Should be all good.
Thank you.
So the thing about measles, remember I was telling you about RNA viruses? Measles is not an RNA virus. So it's a DNA virus, meaning it doesn't evolve that fast. And so if you've had it as a child, you're dealing with the same measles. The minute your body sees it, because it had to fight it, it knows what to look for, right?
Well, we appreciate this mini medical course that you gave us. I'm sorry, one more, Commissioner Kniezek.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to abstain.
Abstain. Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, Doctor. We appreciate that. And we look forward to getting the printed materials so that we can spread it throughout our communities and make everyone know how important it is to get vaccinated. I think that unfortunately is something that we have to remind our community now that to do all the vaccines because they do save lives. So thank you so much. We have a motion by Commissioner Scott, supported by Commissioner Killeen. Any additional discussion on this item? Hearing none, please vote.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Upcoming meetings.
Please note the upcoming committee meetings for next week. If there are any changes, please let the clerk know. And also, please be aware of the budget hearings. I believe the schedule was sent to all commissioners, so if you can attend some of the budget hearings, feel free to do so. And we are starting with today. Next item, please.
We're on new business.
I'm sorry, Commissioner Kinlock, you okay? Okay. Go ahead.
We're on new business. There are two items listed under immediate consideration. Item number one is a resolution by Commissioner Bell approving the reappointments of David Katz, Commissioner Bell, and Commissioner Marecki to the Wayne County Zoological Authority Board of Directors.
Moved by Commissioner Kinlock, supported by Commissioner Clemente. Any discussion on this item? Hearing none, please vote. Okay. All in favor, say aye. Oh, yes, okay. We always divert back to the old way.
Motion
All
carries.
right, thank you. Next item.
Item number two is requesting commission approval of the recommended comprehensive executive budget appropriations ordinance for fiscal year 24-25 and the projected budget for fiscal year 25-26.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to open a hearing for the budget.
So move. Support.
Moved by Commissioner Kinlock, supported by Commissioner Baidoon. We now have an open hearing for the budget. Is there anyone who would like to speak to the budget on Zoom? Okay, all in favor say aye for opening up the public hearing.
Aye.
Public hearing is now open. Is there anyone to speak to the budget? Anyone to speak to the budget? This will be referred to Ways and Means as they do their work over the next 45 days or so. But the public hearing is now open for the budget. Anyone on Zoom, in the audience, or on the telephone? Is there a motion to close the public hearing?
Move to close the public hearing. Support.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, is there a motion to move and refer the budget to Ways and Means?
So move, Madam Chair. Support.
Moved and supported to move the budget to Ways and Means. Any discussion? Hearing none. Please vote. Commissioner Kinlock, would you like to discuss the budget proceedings over the next few weeks?
Yes, Madam Chair, as you stated, a calendar has gone out prior to this meeting, but an updated calendar will be going out. We will have two hearings that will be held in the community. One will be held on the east side of Detroit at Wayne County Community College, another in Dearborn at the Dearborn City Hall, another one in Livonia at Livonia City Hall. We're still trying to identify a definite location in the city of Redford. I'm still have to talk with Commissioner McCormick about her suggested location. And so looking forward to hearing from the departments and, getting the budget done. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, sir. And again, if your schedule allows you, if you are not on Ways and Means, if you'd like to sit in, it's a great opportunity to hear from the departments and the elected officials what their budget concerns and needs are and what they've done over the past year. So, all right, thank you. Next item, please.
We are on testimonial resolutions and certificates of appreciation. There are 4 items listed on pages 7 and 8 of the agenda.
Okay, is there a motion?
So move.
Moved by Commissioner Scott, I heard. And Baidoon and Garza for the certificates of appreciation. Any discussion on the testimony resolutions and certificates of appreciations? Hearing none, please vote.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next item.
We're on memoriams. There are 4 names listed.
Okay, would anyone like to speak to the names listed or add additional names? Chair Baidoon?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to add a name. A few days ago, the Dearborn Heights community lost a great human being, Sarah Tina Haidus Dabaja. She's the niece of our colleague, Commissioner Haidus. She was laid to rest. She passed away after battling illness. We again extend our sincere condolences to Commissioner Haidus and to the entire Haidus family and their relatives. By the way, Sarah, I just found out last night that she lives in Commissioner Knizik's district in Dearborn Heights. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any additional words or additional names, Commissioner Kinlock?
Yes, Madam Chair, I'd like to add the name of Attorney William Hunter. William Hunter was very active in the Democratic Party. He was a lawyer, civil rights lawyer, criminal lawyer. He was just someone who was amazing, who fought for individuals' rights and spoke up on injustice throughout all of our communities. He worked for John Conyers. He was a former business owner. He owned at one point, Hunter Supper Club, and just a great guy. He was regularly called upon in the Democratic Party to do the opening and closing prayer. And so our thoughts and our prayers go out to his entire family. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I also wanted to add a name to the record, please. I know we were a little late in getting it submitted, so I apologize for that. But I wanted to add the name of Reverend John Steele Jr. This is the father-in-law of our very own Elmika Steele. And if you were to look at the Reverend's obituary or talk to those who loved him, you'd be hard-pressed to walk away without a very deep sense of respect and appreciation for everything that he's done for our community. Came up to Michigan by way of Alabama, served our country in the Army, sent to Vietnam as a young man, came back and became very active in the church. And in the early 2000s, moved his membership to the great city of Inkster, where he was presiding over St. John Missionary Baptist Church. And so even after he left leading the church, was very well respected and very well regarded by the community as well. So wanted to add his name, and just know that we'll be adding something more formal to the clerk's office here shortly. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you so much. And we want to keep Elmika in our prayers. Absolutely. Anyone else? Okay, of course, we want to continue to keep our very own Cynthia Douglas in our prayers. The services for her mother, Miss Maggie May Douglas, will be on tomorrow. So we want to continue to keep her in our prayers during this difficult time as well. Okay, everyone could please stand for a moment of silence, please. Thank you so much. Next item.
Public comments.
Is there anyone on Zoom for public comments? You have 2 minutes. Anyone on Zoom? Anyone on the telephone? Anyone in chambers for public comments? Any emails? One more time, anyone on Zoom, the telephone, or in the audience for public comments? Okay, hearing none. Next item.
Reconsiderations.
There are none.
Remarks by members.
Let me just give a couple of birthday shout outs today. Commissioner Marecki's big birthday is on the 24th of August. Happy birthday early, Commissioner Marecki. Yay. Alyssa Rawls from our fiscal department. Her birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday. And then our very own Terrence, his birthday, the 18th. Happy birthday. Let's give everybody a happy birthday shout out. 1, 2, 3, happy birthday. And Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydoun will have cake for everyone after this meeting. You called it or sweet. All right, any remarks by members? Commissioner Clemente.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It was a very exciting day on Monday when the Southfield Bridge opened, connecting Lincoln Park and E-Course. I just want to give a shout out to the Roads Commission, engineering. I believe it was a little bit ahead of schedule, which it makes everybody very happy, our businesses, and all the constituents in that area cannot be more elated with that opening. So thank you.
Fantastic. I know they are very excited. Thank you for bringing that up. Commissioner Kinlock.
Yes, Madam Chair, we will have lunch here at noon. So lunch will be served here at noon.
Will it be on the 7th floor?
Yes, on the 7th floor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And the 1 o'clock budget hearing begin
Yes,
or 12:30?
12:30. No, 12 o'clock. It's, hold on, 12:30. Well, I'm looking,
Ways and Means is that through the chair, Ways and Means starts at 12:30.
Thank you, sir.
12:30, thank you.
So everyone eat quickly at 12 o'clock because Ways and Means will begin at 12:30. Any additional remarks by members? Any remarks by members? Okay, hearing none. Next item.
I'm sorry. Adjournment.
Meet adjourned. Thank you. I will see you soon upstairs at lunch. Thank you. Meet adjourned.